Unlocking beauty. Imagine you're standing in front of a magnificent sunset. Colors splash across the sky, and for a moment, you're lost in its beauty. Why do you find it beautiful? Is beauty in the sunset, or is it in you, the observer? This is the fascinating world of Kant's critique of judgment, where aesthetics meet our judgment and shape how we experience the world. Immanuel Kant, a name synonymous with philosophical profundity, was an 18th century thinker from Königsberg, Prussia. A true Enlightenment giant, Kant's ideas revolutionized how we understand knowledge, morality, and crucially for our purposes, judgment and aesthetics. His Critique of Judgment, a seminal work in Western thought, explores the fascinating realm of aesthetics and its implications for human experience. Kant, in his characteristically rigorous fashion, delved into the nature of beauty, sublimity, and the very act of making judgments about art and the natural world. His insights continue to resonate with artists, philosophers, and anyone who has ever paused to contemplate the beauty of a sunset or the power of a great symphony. What did Kant mean by judgment? Kant explored how we judge things as beautiful or sublime. Unlike practical judgments, is this morally right, or theoretical judgments, is this true? Aesthetic judgments are unique. Kant distinguished between two fundamental types of judgment, determinate and reflective. Determinate judgments, as the name suggests, involve applying pre-existing concepts to particular instances. Think of a biologist identifying a new species of bird based on established taxonomic criteria. Reflective judgments, on the other hand, come into play when we encounter something novel, something that doesn't fit neatly into our existing conceptual framework. This is where aesthetics enters the picture. When we experience beauty, we're not simply applying rules, we're engaging in a subjective process of feeling and reflection. Kant argued that aesthetic judgments, while subjective, are not arbitrary. They possess a curious universality. When we declare something beautiful, we implicitly believe that others should share our sentiment, even though we can't logically compel them to do so. This universal subjectivity, as it's sometimes called, lies at the heart of Kant's aesthetic theory. They're subjective, yet we expect others to agree. They're based on pleasure, but not because of personal gain or desire. When you say this painting is beautiful, you don't mean I like this. You're making a claim about the painting itself, inviting others to share your experience. Why is beauty disinterested? Crucially, Kant believed that aesthetic experiences are characterized by disinterest. One of Kant's most revolutionary ideas is that true aesthetic appreciation is disinterested. When we admire something beautiful, we don't want to possess or use it. Our pleasure comes from the pure act of contemplating it. Example, you might enjoy a delicious meal because it satisfies hunger. But is it appreciating the beauty of a starry night? That pleasure is different. It's about experiencing beauty for its own sake. Now, this doesn't mean we're bored or indifferent. Rather, it suggests that our pleasure derives not from any practical benefit or self-serving desire, but from the pure contemplation of the object itself. Imagine gazing upon a breathtaking mountain vista. According to Kant, our enjoyment stems not from the prospect of climbing the peak or owning a piece of the landscape, but from the sheer, awe-inspiring grandeur of the scene itself. This disinterested contemplation allows us to appreciate beauty for its own sake, free from ulterior motives. This concept of disinterested pleasure might seem counterintuitive in our highly commercialized world, where art is often commodified and experiences are packaged for consumption. Yet Kant would argue that true aesthetic enjoyment lies in transcending these utilitarian concerns and embracing the pure, disinterested contemplation of the beautiful. Section 4, From the Sistine Chapel to Star Wars, Kant in Action. Kant's ideas, while rooted in 18th century philosophy, have surprising relevance to our contemporary world. Consider the enduring popularity of Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel ceiling. Viewers from all walks of life, regardless of their religious beliefs or artistic training, continue to marvel at its beauty and power, or think of the way a film like Star Wars can captivate audiences across generations and cultures. The film's epic scope, memorable characters, and timeless themes resonate with something deep within the human psyche, transcending the boundaries of language, time, and place. These examples, though seemingly disparate, illustrate the enduring power of Kant's ideas. Whether we're contemplating a Renaissance masterpiece or losing ourselves in a galaxy far, far away, our capacity for aesthetic experience connects us to something larger than ourselves. Kant's critique of judgment stands as a testament to the enduring power of philosophical inquiry. His exploration of judgment, aesthetics, and the human experience continues to provoke thought and inspire debate centuries after its initial publication. In a world often dominated by the cold logic of science and the relentless pursuit of utility, Kant reminds us of the importance of beauty, sublimity, and the profound impact of art and nature on the human spirit. His ideas, far from being relegated to the dusty annals of academia, offer a timeless framework for understanding our own aesthetic experiences and appreciating the profound role that beauty plays in our lives. How does Kant differ from other theories? Before Kant, many philosophers believed beauty was either objective, inherent in the object itself like symmetry or proportion, or subjective, a matter of personal taste. Kant offered a middle ground. Universal subjectivity. Kant's theory bridges the subjective and universal. Beauty is subjective because it's based on individual experience. Yet it has a universal dimension. When we find something beautiful, we feel others should too. The subjective aspect. Each person's experience of beauty is personal and tied to their perception, but also has a universal dimension where we share the same cognitive and existential structures, making aesthetic judgments communicable and, in a sense, universal. This tension between subjective pleasure and universal expectation makes Kant's theory profound and still relevant today. Kant argues that our experience of the world is mediated by a priori conditions, categories of understanding, like causality, and intuitions of space and time. These aren't things we learn, they're part of the mental framework through which we process any experience. Kant argued that our minds structure all experience through these a priori intuitions of space and time, unlearned concepts which are the metaphysical chassis holding the engine of human reasoning. They are the lens through which we perceive any phenomenon. Space and time as universals. Whether we look at a painting or a mountain, we interpret its beauty within this universal framework. This means while our aesthetic experience is personal, it's filtered through a structure that all humans share. Example: imagine two people from different cultures seeing a sunrise. Their interpretations may differ, but both experience it within the same basic framework of time, dawn's beginning, and space, horizon, distance. The existential layer, our shared fragility and mortality. Kant doesn't explicitly use existentialist terms, but his ideas resonate deeply with existential themes, including an awareness of mortality. Our sense of beauty is often tied to life's fragility. A fleeting moment or experience of profound uniqueness in an ephemeral moment, like cherry blossoms and roses in springtime, or sunset with particular clouds and environmental conditions, can feel profoundly beautiful because we're aware of its transience. They belong to us because they will never be repeated like this again. Even if the sunset happens again tomorrow, we were privy to something special. We desire to hold on to them in photos or paintings, and so they inspire creative impulses to reify them in plastic art or repeat them in music. Also, the sublime and human limits. Kant's concept of the sublime highlights our encounter with the vast or overwhelming, for example, a terrifying thunderstorm or the night sky. These experiences remind us of our smallness, yet affirm our capacity for thought and feeling. Connecting the dots. Aesthetic judgment isn't just about what we perceive, it's about who we are as perceivers. We're mortal, finite beings seeking meaning, and this shared condition underpins our judgments of beauty. Why this matters: art is a shared human language, and understanding Kant's aesthetics helps reveals why art can move people across time and cultures. Art gives a personal connection. We each bring our unique experiences to a work of art, and at the same time we recognize something universal, a reflection of our common struggles, joys, and fragility. Art allows us to engage in shared humanity. Why this matters in aesthetics. Kant's aesthetics resonate deeply. They connect individual experience to a shared human reality. explaining why art and beauty transcend cultures and eras. Understanding Kant's aesthetics helps you see how deeply our judgments shape our world. In a media-saturated society, discerning true beauty amidst noise is more important than ever. Art can help with critical thinking. You'll learn to question why you find something beautiful. It will also help develop empathy. You'll appreciate how others' experiences can differ and connect on a deeper level. Kant challenges you not just to look, but to see. Not just to hear, but to listen. It's a guide to experiencing life's beauty more fully and understanding the hidden structure behind our judgments. And as future thinkers, artists, or leaders, you have the power to shape what beauty means in our world. Next time you find yourself entranced by a painting, a melody, or even a sunset, remember, you're not just enjoying it, you're making a silent claim about the nature of beauty itself.